Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Dr. Chris Featherstone here for yet another episode of UnSKripted. All right, so this is so finally to get my man on the show tonight. This is my guy. Last time there were some technical difficulties, but not anymore, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to make this work and make it happen. Want to make sure we get this and that and this and there. All right. There we go. All right, Bill Dundee, how you doing, my man?
Chris, how you doing? Doing good. How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic, man. It's great to have you on the show. Just want to make sure that everybody hears you. Just want to make sure, is everybody hear Bill Dundee right now? Does he hear? Do they hear him? Do they hear him? Do they hear him? Just want to get some confirmation on if they hear the superstar, Bill Dundee. Just want to make sure. Just need some confirmation from anybody, everybody. Let me know if you hear Bill Dundee, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, sir. All loud and clear. Perfect. All right, Bill Dundee. How are you, my man?
Doing good. Just trying to get over this damn COVID or whatever it is. It's keeping us all home.
Oh man, how have you been? How have you been dealing with that?
Oh, hell, all right. Just doing whatever they say. I've been in this business since 1960, and this is the first time it's ever been like this.
Yeah. It's been pretty bizarre, man. It's been pretty
bizarre, unbelievable.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm glad that you're managing well throughout this craziness that's going on right now. All right, so let's jump right into the questions. Elvis is starting off with, who did you have the best feud with? Thank you, Mr. Dundee.
Oh, I'd have to say Jerry Lawler.
Oh, yeah.
It started in 1975 and still going.
Yeah, that's right. That's right, man. What's 45 years later, man? Over 45 years later. Yeah, it's still going. I remember the old Memphis feuds. I remember watching a lot of Continental back in the day, and yeah, you both were the two of the biggest stars in Continental. It was great to see that, man. Still going. Yep. Let's start off with and let's go to Riju now. Have you checked out Regal's run at NXT as the authority figure? What was he like to work with?
Oh, he's smooth as glass. He's a hell of a worker. I mean, he can wrestle, he can shoot, he can do it all. He's very good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, would you imagine Regal, after, being in WCW and his really bad runs in WWE, the man's man was pretty bad, but he ended up doing decently when they brought him back, European champion, Intercontinental champion, tag team champion even. But would you imagine him in a authority figure right now and having a long-standing job with the WWE?
No, he never seemed like that's what he wanted to do with his life. So, I mean, Lawler wanted to work in the office. I wanted to work in the office, but Regal never gave me any inklings that that's what he wanted to do. But he's been in this business all his life, and he's pretty good at it. So I guess he's as good as anybody. Yeah,
I agree. And you did the books for a while in the WCW, right?
Yeah, I worked in the office, yeah.
Yeah. What years was it?
Oh, God, it was fucking 20 years ago, so I don't know, whatever that is.
20 years ago was 2000, 2001. It was I thought it was the 90s, wasn't it? Like the early, like the mid-90s? Yeah.
Yeah, when Stone Cold started, when they were all around,
Yeah. Lennar's asking, it's great to have you here. Was there any heat between you and The Undertaker? All right. Before you start, that laugh is ready to rock. So give me the PG version of it.
I hear you. I didn't know what was wrong with Big Mark. I tried to help him just like anybody else did, but see, here is the thing, and all you guys out there, if two guys get in involved with the same girl, it never works that good.
Mm.
And then I knew, this young lady, and he knew her, and I think he ended up marrying her. Anyway, I don't know. I don't give a fuck. But anyway,
Uh-oh.
that was that. So
yeah. Wow. So possibly over a female, you and Mark had heat, man. So was it easy to work with him in Memphis when he started? He was with the Master of Pain back in the day, right?
Yeah, he's a big red-headed guy with freckles. Yeah, he had heat. He got heat. He was big, and he understood the business from day one.
Yeah. And I think he was Texas Red. What did he work for? Who did he work for at the time in Texas Red? I know that he worked for Texas. He worked in Texas for a while, for a little bit, I think. Maybe USWA, maybe.
Yeah, they were there. Yeah. So,
yeah. I know that him and Austin had a couple matches when he was Texas Red. Elvis is asking, do you still have your custom car? If so, what kind of car is it?
My car?
Yep.
Yeah, it's still the one with my face on it. No, there's all the things how you can get in touch with me. Yeah, I still got it.
What year is it?
I don't fucking know. It's like me. It's been around a while, so.
Yeah, nice. Let's see what else we have. Kevin Sullivan's asking, Bill, I'm sorry to ask you this. I actually respect you a lot, but I lost a bet. So are you friends with Paul Hogan?
I wouldn't. I know him, so but no, we weren't big buddies or never really ended up at the same place. He was a comedian and a movie actor, and I was trying to be a wrestler, but I knew the man.
Okay, yeah. So acquaintances and not friends, right?
Right.
Okay.
Well, that's most of the people in the wrestling business.
Yeah.
Your acquaintances, you're not really friends with them. It's, well, he's a friend of mine. That's just a figure of speech.
Yeah. That's really interesting. Did you have any people who were the closest people you were with doing your run, your full-time run?
Well, I guess Lawler in Memphis, because he never left and I never left, and he was part of what drew, and I was the other part. So, Lawler and that thing. But then I went to WCW at Sir William and a few other little things like that. Then I went to book for Bill Watts. So set the place on fire down there when we took Ricky and Robert down there. Louisiana had never seen anything like that.
Yeah. I remember
Bill Watts booked it, and the lad booked it before we got there, and they're all monsters. So you can, you see the difference.
Yeah, I was Mid-South, right?
Yeah,
Mid-South. That was huge back in the day. Absolutely. Lenar's asking, do you watch the current product, WWE, AEW, the rest? If yes, who's your favorite wrestler and why?
No, I ain't got a clue who's wrestling. I don't watch none of it.
How long has it been since you watched the product at all?
Oh, hell, I don't know.
If
somebody comes to my house and says, hey, wrestling's on, can we watch it? I'll sit there a little while with them and watch it. But I never turn it on if I'm just here by myself.
What made you kind of lose interest in the product at all? Like, what made you lose interest, period?
It sucks.
Okay, elaborate.
And
why does it suck?
Well, okay, we know it's all a work. But you don't have to rub it into people's face every time you go to the ring.
Yeah.
It was real to me, and it was real to Stone Cold, and it was real to Jerry Jarrett, and it was real to that era guy. So I don't know what to do today. I haven't been to a wrestling match probably since the last one I was in,
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just a whole different kettle of fish. I don't know.
Yeah. When's the last time you competed? It was what the past couple of years? You're still going. You're still going, aren't you?
Yeah, still going. I got my book. As a matter of fact, I opened up this book right here. It says January 2021.
Wow. So you just competed last month?
Yeah, and then I got
I love it.
Burt February the 6th, Jackson, Tennessee for Burt Prentice. So I've got that one then.
Wow. And how old are you now? 77, 76?
77, going on 28. Yeah.
Man, wow. 77 years old. Still, I want to see one of your matches, man. Where can I see them? I still want to see. You still probably have one of the best drop kicks in the business.
Well, yeah, I still think so, but it was not the 20 years ago drop kick, but I still can get up there.
Nice. Where do I see these matches, man? I want to see a 77-year-old Bill Dundee go. Where can I see these matches at?
Oh, hell. Well, let's see what my book says here.
Can I see it on Facebook or something?
Yeah, it'll be on Facebook.
Okay.
And on Saturday, Jackson the 6th, Burt Prentice has got the Oman Arena running, so I think it's still running, so I'll be there.
Okay. All right.
Wow. The 6th.
That's impressive, man. 77 years old. That's impressive, man. I love it. Reezy's asking, what did you think of Sting during your time in WCW?
Oh, Borden was all right. He's a good guy. I liked him. I got along good with him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. How was he like backstage? Just a general type of feel towards Sting. Did he have any heat with anybody?
I didn't know. He was business. He knew how his bread was buttered. So yeah, he wasn't hard to get along with. Do business, do whatever. He would do anything you wanted. So, and he could work.
Yeah. I agree. He's my all-time favorite. What do you think of Jerry Lawler as an announcer in WWE?
Well, Lawler could always talk. So, I mean, anybody you put a microphone in front of him has been around him for a while. You can know in the first 5 minutes it's going to be a good interview. So he was always a good talker. Yeah.
Well, how do you feel about WWE not really utilizing him in a wrestling role at all? I know he had he had a couple angles that were in the beginning, the kiss my feet stuff with Brad, the drunk stuff with Jake, but he never really had much of a big angle, as far as winning any titles or really having a long-standing competitive role. Do you think that WWE missed the opportunity as far as that's concerned?
Oh, yeah. I mean, the guy's very smart, running the company, he's very smart in the wrestling business.
Yeah.
But he was taught by the same guy as me, Jerry Jarrett. So, I mean, that was, how it was. It was real to me, and I was wanting anybody who watched it to, convince him it was real. So, I don't know where the boys got or how they got to thinking. I have no earthly idea.
Yeah. When you're inducted into the Hall of Fame, who would you want to induct you? And he said he would be honored to induct you. I always said it.
Yeah, I hear you. I don't know. Never gave it no thought.
I think Lawler would probably be a good choice for you.
That would be the best for him, me for him, and him for me.
Yeah, I agree.
Because since 1975, me and Lawler has been doing our thing around here.
Yeah, Lawler's still going too, isn't he?
Yeah, he's still a little run with Vince, so he's a different thing. But yeah, he's still going.
Nice. Yeah. That's awesome, man. I gotta dig and find one of those new matches that you're in, man. I want to see you go. I want to see you compete, man. Because I binge on Continental every now and then. I would like get into watching a few years of it. And I think I was like in 87 or 6 maybe or something like that. And I love binge watching Continental stuff. And and AWA too. So it was awesome stuff. I want to see it. I gotta find it, Bill. I gotta find where I can find you throwing it up one more time with that drop kick. So
well, if you just usually type in Bill Dundee, it'll take you to a wrestling match somewhere.
Okay. All right. I want to see some new stuff. I want to see some 77 years old young Bill Dundee, man. That's what I want to see.
I hear you.
I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued. Let's see. How come Bill Dundee never appeared in any WWE video game? Jack is asking.
Well, somebody has to ask you to do it. So, I have no earthly idea. Nobody ever came up and said, Bill, you want to be in this game? And we're going to do this game and you're in it. So it never came up, but I'm sure that's how it works.
Yeah. Yeah. Who was, here's a question I have for you. Who was difficult to book for when you were booking WCW? Who was someone who was really kind of like, nah, they were not really, you didn't really get along with, while you were in the WCW, the person who wasn't really, listening or paying attention to your suggestions?
If I was the booker and I was running the show and you didn't pay attention to me, you was fucking gone.
You were effing gone. PG version.
Yeah, that was it. You was gone. Hey, brother, can I see you in my office?
Yeah.
And if you ever got that comment from me, for the person, it wasn't a good end.
Yeah. So that's how it was. And was people pretty respectful toward that, or you have some people still trying to butt heads?
It was. Here is the thing, and I don't care what anybody tells you. If you have a guy, it's the booker, and he has your business at heart, you need to treat him with kid gloves and treat him nice, because that's how the business works. I mean, I don't know what they do today. I mean, guys like John Louis, Joe LeDuc, Stone Cold, all them guys. I mean, if you ever get to my house and you come into my office, you go back 100 years. And you'll see guys, hey, that guy's still living. No, he's gone. But it just, I don't know what to do today.
Yeah. It was a lot of respect as a booker back in the day, because, it was one of those times if you, as a booker, if they found, if a booker found, I'm sure you can attest to this. If a booker found, it worthwhile to book you in a pretty high spot, I mean, you got to take advantage of that and not, take it for granted. Yeah. And I think a lot of people take it for granted nowadays, as opposed to.
And here is the other thing. Back then, they had to like you. I've never booked anybody or put them on top, maybe the Undertaker, that I never got along with. But if you were on the main event in Memphis for Bill Dundee or Jerry Lawler, it was because either Lawler liked you, or I liked you, or Jerry Jarrett liked you. That was the three. That was the pecking order of the three people in the, from the 60s on.
Yeah.
And I don't care who you are, somebody has to like you that has the pencil that can push you.
Yeah. Absolutely. Do you have any stories of Vader?
No, I go along good with Vader. I mean, I thought for a big man, he was a monster. He was a hell of a worker and could take bumps, and he understood the business. So, but I go along good with him. Everybody that I worked with, technically, whether I was the booker or just on the card or trying to help draw money, I enjoyed the wrestling business, and you weren't knocking it to me, so I really enjoyed what I did. I mean, it was just, and me and Mark, it's a long story why he's mad at me, but that's another story too. But anyway, I thought we got along pretty good, and for why we had matches with him, I've looked at, and for a big guy, little guy, it was a pretty good match.
Yeah.
But here's the difference. I didn't think I was 5'7". I thought I was 6'8". So that is the difference. I never worked like I was 5'7" either.
Yeah, I noticed that too. Yeah, you work like a big man. You work like a main event star, and so that's the reason why it was that. So
yeah, that's exactly what it was. I had the David Goliath thing. I mean, I was David, and every other guy in the wrestling business was Goliath to me.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, it had that fiery type of feel to you, like that scrappy dude type of feel to you. I don't care how big you are.
That's my personality in real life.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we drank a lot of beer in Australia and go to a lot of bars, and you go into a lot of fights.
Yeah.
I don't care who you are. You just did when you're drinking and you're wrestling and somebody says something smart to you, it's on.
Yeah.
That was the good old days. I don't know how it is today. Like I said, I'm not around many of the older guys.
Mm-hmm.
I see Stone Cold occasionally. I see Jerry Lawler because we both work on Memphis shows together.
Mm-hmm.
But apart from that, I don't see anybody.
Does Austin ever kind of explain to you what he thinks about the current product?
I've never really had that conversation with Steve, but I think it's kind of just like we all know what it is, and nobody, the old timers, don't really say anything, but we just know what it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. Unfortunately, we saw. Unfortunately, Butch Reed, Hacksaw Butch Reed, or the Natural Butch Reed, wherever you, whichever what you want to call him, he recently passed away. Do you have any stories of Butch Reed?
Yeah, I mean, what you saw is what you got. He was a big old boy. He was a black guy, and he was for the brothers, and you know what I mean. So I mean, yeah, what you saw with Butch Reed is what you got.
Mm-hmm.
And Bill Watts loved brothers because that's what we booked in Louisiana. So Bill Watts loved Butch Hacksaw, and so I mean, if you're going to get over with anybody, you as well to just push the guys that the promoter likes, and that, you know what I mean.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. He
Butch to draw money. So that's the other. That was the name of the game. People can tell you this and tell you that, but it was all back then just like it is now. I'm sure it's all for dollars.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If you're going to push the pencil, you better make it draw money, or you're not going to have the job too long.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. Butch, I've I watched Mid-South back in the day, and actually I have a Mid-South DVD that I watched years ago. I think it's somewhere in my collection. I need to pull it back out again. But yeah, man, I was kind of got back into the feel of Mid-South, and man, it was awesome seeing Butch Reed up on the top, JYD on the top, DiBiase, Jim Duggan was on the top at the time too for Mid-South, and it was really good, man. It was really good to see, and like you said, I agree. Butch Reed was definitely a draw. I think the WWE didn't really utilize him as much as good as y'all did when you and Watts and other people from Mid-South and Louisiana was booking. So,
right.
Yeah.
And here was the thing. Butch came along at a time in Louisiana when Bill Watts was getting away from McGurk and doing his thing. So we wanted it to draw.
Mm-hmm.
So if we brought you in, we didn't bring you in to play checkers with you. We brought you in because we figured you could draw money.
Yeah.
And here is the other thing. My nuts are on the line, so if we're going to do something and it's going to be stupid, I am going to do it.
Yeah.
So that's just how it was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was. I recommend people, watch, some Mid-South, some old school Mid-South when Butch Reed was on the top, and it was really cool, man. Just him, and like I said, him, Duggan, DiBiase,
Dr. Death.
Oh yeah, Steve Williams, 100%. Dr. Death was up there. Yeah, I was big Dr. Death mark as a kid, man. I always liked Dr. Death, the Oklahoma Stampede, and what's his name? That was with that dated Dark Journey. What's his name? You remember who Dark Journey was, right?
That was the Black Girl, right?
Yeah, the manager. Yeah, who dated?
The manager, yeah.
Yeah, who the valet? Who dated? What's his name? Who dated Dick Slater? Dirty Dick Slater. Yeah,
Dirty Dick.
Yeah, remember Dick Slater?
Do I remember Dick Slater? It all depends the mood he was in.
Yeah, I heard he was up and down, man. I heard he was one of the toughest guys in the back.
Well, he was very tough.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you hear about the incident with him and Sting?
Well, I was probably there. That was when we was all in Louisiana, right?
Yeah. So he kind of punked Sting. It's tough for me to say that because I'm a big Sting guy. He's my favorite. But yeah, he punked Sting. Do you remember any of that?
Well, just no, because Bill Watts wouldn't really let you fight. He would take it on your day off. You could go down and get in the ring if you couldn't sort it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he never encouraged the fight. But it was a different era.
Yeah. Yep. All right, a couple more. Let's see. Have you ever wrestled Scott Steiner and Rick Steiner?
No, I've worked with both of them, but have I wrestled them? No.
I see what you did there.
There you go. You see what I did there?
I see what you did there.
I hear you.
Not even Rick?
Not even Rick.
Oh, wow. Yeah. It seemed like Rick. Which one do you think was the better worker between the two, Rick or Scott?
Hell, I thought they were on a par. What if one was the toughest of the two? I don't know, but I mean, they for two big guys and putting little Billy Dundee over. I mean, you know what I mean. So I've always got along good with him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was always a big Rick Steiner guy. He was actually one of my favorite tag team wrestlers of all time. And yeah, my second favorite tag team of all time is the Steiners. My first is the Legion of Doom, the Road Warriors, and Animal is my favorite tag team wrestler. And I would say Rick Steiner's up there as sort of second. So yeah, I always liked it.
This is just my professional opinion, but if you're going to take the tag team for which one I think is the longevity you can draw money with it, because I used them, is the Steiners.
Yeah. Yep. Do you have any funny Jim Herd stories?
Not really, because I wasn't quite around him. I mean, we worked in the office, and I just went and did my thing and went home. So I never hung around the office.
Did he ever know did you ever get the feel, or anybody in the backstage, did they ever have the feel of like, this guy knows what he's talking about? Like it's typically a general consensus that Herd didn't know what he was talking about at all. What was the feel at that time when some, Pizza Hut guy comes in and runs the company?
Well, that didn't really matter, because that pizza running devil hired Bill Dundee. So I was supposed to know all he needed to know for the wrestling business.
Ah, okay. So you were kind of like the eyes and ears for him.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So he was saying it didn't matter what he knew, and he didn't have to be able to get in the ring and wrestle or do whatever. But that's why he hired Bill Dundee, or somebody like him.
How did he find out about you to hire you? Like, what were you doing at the time before he hired you?
I think we were all inherited.
Oh, okay.
He just came into WCW one day and said, "Hey, this is Jim Herd, this is this, this is that." Nothing will change is technically what he said, which he never did. He said, "Whatever you do now, just keep doing." So that was that. So
he took over Herd. He took over Watts, right? He was after Watts. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so Watts goes away, and then Herd comes in, and you were doing the books before Herd come in, as he was transitioning, as they were doing the transition. You were there before Herd came in?
Yeah.
Okay. So he just said, "Hey, I'm not going to make any changes. Just do what you're doing," basically.
Technically.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me tell you a funny story about Bill Watson.
Yeah, absolutely.
Big guys and little guys. So when we went down there, Ricky and Robert and Bobby Eaton and Dennis Condrey, they're not the biggest guys in the world. So we're having dinner one day at his house in Bigsby, Oklahoma. We're out there. He says to me, "Hey, Stud, you ain't gonna fill this place up with friggin' midgets, are you?" And Mrs. Watts was sitting there, and she says, "Excuse me, Mr. Bill." She said, "You need to take a look at your checkbook before you insult this man any more than he quits."
That's right.
And that was the end of that conversation.
Yeah, that's right. Nice. Let's see. One more question. Here's a good one. Do you have any funny Vince McMahon stories?
No, I was never really much around Vince.
Mm. Did you have any work? I mean, did you do anything in WWE at all?
No.
Yeah. So you did AWA, and then so AWA and Memphis was your bread and butter, especially Memphis. And then you go to WCW, and was it a competitive type of deal at the time? Like, was the goal to kind of beat WWE, or was it to really kind of corner the Southern territory, kind of central to Southern territory, and not really worry about what the WWF was doing at the time?
Technically, and that's how I was brought up in this business. You do your thing, they'll do their thing, and whoever has the best show will win.
Yeah,
and that's true.
Yeah.
So, but we didn't get up in the morning and worry about WCW or WWE or whoever. We just did our thing. When we was in Louisiana for Watts, my primary job was to make as much money for Bill Watts as possible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You think Vince would bring back territories?
I have no idea. I don't even know how Vince thinks.
Yeah, I would highly doubt that would ever happen. That's for sure.
Yeah. There used to be a formula of this business, and it all worked.
Yeah.
Everybody technically did the same all over America, wrestling-wise.
Mm-hmm.
And just go away kind of crazy and do the things. And so I really don't know. But here's the thing. I believed it was real. And when anytime I was in the ring, I was going to try to prove it to my opponent and whoever bought a ticket to see me.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. Absolutely. Good stuff, my man. Well, Bill, it's always a pleasure, man. Always enjoyed chatting with you, man. I appreciate you coming through for me time and time again, man. Let the listeners know your date's coming up again.
Well, I'm supposed to be in Jackson February the 27th for booked. And that's the only one I have. Jackson the 27th, and I have another one, Jackson the 6th, February the 6th. So Nothing happening.
All right, cool. Well, that sounds good. Well, thanks a lot, Bill. I appreciate you coming through, man.
All right, brother. Anytime.
All right, sounds good. Thanks a lot.
I enjoy it. Thank you, all the wrestling fans out there. I'll see y'all later.